Hello and welcome, and on behalf of everyone at the Polk County Office of Veteran Services, thank you for joining us. I'm Brian Lacey. The F-35A Lightning II is the U.S. Air Force's newest fifth-generation fighter. The Lightning II is a stealthy, multi-role, all-weather, air-to-air, and surface attack fighter. It is designed to enable direct attack against most heavily defended ground targets. Now, we caught up with Major Melanie Kluesner, call sign Mock. Now, she's the commander of the F-35 Lightning II demonstration team and the crew at Sun and Fun, and this is what we saw.
Yeah, so both my parents were active duty Air Force. My dad flew the F-16, my mom flew the KC-135, so I grew up with Air Force parents. When I was about 6 years old, my dad took me to an Air Force Academy football game because he used to play football there. And I saw F-16s fly over, and from that moment, I was absolutely sold. I liked the thrill, the challenge, how fast they were flying. So I knew from a really young age that that's what I wanted to do, and nothing was gonna get in my way from doing that. So at this point, I've been in the Air Force about 10 years, lucky enough to fly jets the whole time. I started in the F-16, did a year there in Korea, and then there was a spot open to switch over to the F-35. The catch was it was with the Marines. So my commander said, "Hey, do you want an F-35? I said, "Absolutely." And he said, "All right, well, you're gonna do a Marine exchange." And I said, "Don't care, that sounds awesome. I wanna fly the F-35. So I flew the F-35B model for 2 years. Deployed on the USS America, so I did the things that I joined the Air Force not to do, which was deploy on a ship. But it was some of the coolest experiences that I've ever had, getting to fly in the military. Landing on a ship that's moving at night is no joke. So it was a big confidence builder when I was younger, learning how to fly jets still, so it was a really cool experience. Yeah, they made it really simple, actually. You just push a button and it transforms into the Stovall mode. So you have to be light enough to be able to fully hover, so around 4,000 pounds, which is close to our landing fuel in the A. So what does that translate to? You have exactly one chance to shoot your approach onto the ship. If you go missed approach, you're emergency fuel at that point. So it's a lot more of a challenge to land that airplane than it is, what I'm landing now, which is just on a regular runway. But that's what made it more exciting.
We do about 26 air shows throughout the entire season from February to November. We take 2 jets with us, sometimes 3. And we only bring 4 maintainers with us. So we're having effectively 3 or 4 career fields that we're condensing into 4 people who only do 2 by trade. So we have crew chiefs and avionics, and we need those 2 guys, or those 2 career fields, so to speak, to fill a major hole that would have been there if we would have deployed or sent like a whole squadron of people. So these are the best of the best maintainers in the F-35 program, and they have an immense amount of qualifications to make sure that we can put a safe jet in the sky for our pilot. And I know Mock trusts us with all that. So it's a pretty big challenge, moving 2 aircraft around the world all year long, but also staying effective and making sure that we have everything we need to do the job, people, parts, and 2 good jets. So it's a really cool experience, and we're very fortunate to learn a lot more than we normally would. Through my years in the Air Force and on the team, I went from being a crew chief who just works on basically mechanical components. I like to tell people it's like the Jiffy Lube mechanic for your car. Change oil, change tires, stuff like that, to completely learning avionics, which is what he does. At one point, I was fully qualified on our egress system for the seat and the ejection seat. I can do LO, so I can maintain the stealth coatings. So I've been very fortunate through my career to learn how to do 5 different career fields and be nearly fully qualified on all of them to be an effective nose-to-tail maintainer. So we have a good group of guys, like I said, and women who are just incredible and know the ins and outs of their job to the fullest extent to make sure that we can do the best job and put on a cool show for everybody. So
yeah, I've been on the team going on 4 years now, and the thing about the F-35 demonstration team, which is different than the Thunderbirds, different than the Blue Angels, is that we're a smaller team but still a very unique team. We have a lot of different places and different spaces that we fill to make this team work, and you become a family. And it's a lot closer than you would in a regular squadron where you have over 150 bodies that have to work on jets every day. We have about 15 people, and we get the job done just as well.
Yeah, it's really nice to fly in the Florida shows because most of the areas that I'm flying are close to sea level, so the jet has all the power I could possibly want, and I can feel a big difference. Flying at hill density altitude is between 6,000 and 9,000 feet, so the jet doesn't have the exact same performance as it does down at sea level. I pull 9 every single time. So a popular question I get asked is, when do I pull the most G's in the demo? That is going from high speed when I stand the jet on its tail and climb straight up to 10,000 feet. So that pull is always 9 G's. And they train you really well when you become a fighter pilot to be able to withstand G's so that you don't let the blood go from your brain all the way to your feet. That's how you pass out. So my G-suit really helps. It's a very thick, beefy G-suit that automatically inflates as I pull back on the stick. And we were trained for specific breathing patterns to help us withstand those G's. But yeah, I will pull 9 G's every demo, so it's a good workout. The Viper was a lot more maneuverable. It was trained to be a dogfighting aircraft because that's the kind of battles we anticipated back then. Now with the F-35, suppression of enemy air defense is our bread and butter, so taking out surface-to-air missile systems. So this jet is very, very smooth in terms of autopilot. Its avionics are unmatched. I have a full touchscreen in my cockpit, unlike the Viper, which was a lot of round dials, made the cross-check a little bit more cumbersome. But now I've got all the information I could possibly want right in front of my eyes. As a millennial, it's a dream to have basically a giant iPad to work off of. And it is just very, very easy to fly. What's difficult about the F-35 is knowing how to employ it. So you've got a lot of different bombs and missiles that you study for, know when to use them, know exactly what systems are gonna help you identify that you're dropping on the right target, you're identifying the right aircraft. So yeah, that's the biggest difference is we are built for a set mission, and it's not dogfighting, it is that suppression of enemy air defense, and the jet is really, really good at that. People refer to the F-35 as the quarterback of the fight. We share information with our allies out there in the battle space, and we have global situational awareness as to what is going on. So if a war were to kick off, the F-35 is the jet that I would want to be in. So both my husband and I are F-35 pilots, and we were interested in general aviation as well. We live in Utah, very pretty to fly around these snowy mountains, so we bought our own airplane. It's just a light sport to build some time, just in case we want to go to the airlines in the future. So yeah, now the two of us get to fly our little Tectum around Utah, and it's pretty awesome. It's really weird going from 650 miles an hour to 125, but I get to look outside and enjoy a little bit more than when I'm just blowing past things in the jet.
That's going to do it for this edition of Today's Veteran. Remember, for help and information regarding claims, benefits, and services available to veterans and their families, call the Polk County Veterans Service Office at 863-534-5220 or log on to the Polk County website at www.polk-county.net.